We're just about to start this, the webinar. I am so excited to be with you guys tonight. I mean, this is really, 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 I mean, it's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. But let's give the people, I think we have, how many people do we have on so far? Yeah, let's give the people a few more minutes. But if you have any questions, those of you that are on now, if you have any questions before we get started, go ahead and throw those questions out there. Today, we're going to be talking about energy systems and how they help to blueprint your body to give you the results that you really, really want. There's been so much information out there that it actually brings about a confusion of if anything really works. So if you have a few questions, you guys go ahead and shoot those, and we'll start answering those questions right away. No questions. Can you hear me, Cody? Okay. If there's an X through speaker, does that mean it's not on or it's on?
Microphone?
Yeah. So there's an X right there.
No, that's good right now.
Okay.
You can actually tell that little green.
Okay, good, good.
I'll bring for questions here. Let's click on that. So that's enabled. Okay. Let's see.
We're just going through and making sure we've actually got.
Click on that
right here. We're just making sure that we've got this thing prepared and that you guys can hear me. If anybody has any questions before we get started, why don't you shoot those over to me real quick and let me answer those before we get started. Any questions at all? Oh, how long is this webinar going to be? It won't be more than 45 minutes to an hour, but I've got a lot of good. I can hear you. Good. Debbie Rowland says I can hear you. Omar, hi. What is your opinion on the relationship on belly fat and cortisol? You know what? As we're going through, I want you to pose that question again. I may just answer that question for you as we go through this webinar. Yeah, and it's gonna be a short webinar today. It's only going to be up to 45 minutes. I'm going to try to cut it off there. But make sure as I'm going through this, it may be some very, very new information. So make sure you answer your questions. We're going to talk a little bit about the energy systems, and we're going to talk about how that relates to diet and nutrition and how they come together to actually help you with your results. Okay, about 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Any other questions? Omar, we're going to make sure we answer that question too. Okay, guys, about 10 seconds. We're going to start. Any more questions? Okay. I'm Ron Williams. For those of you that don't know me, I spend a lot of time with natural bodybuilding, and natural bodybuilding has been really, really good to me. It's given me the opportunity and a platform to really become well informed. And what I am telling you today is something that can actually change your world. As I said, we're going to talk about the energy systems and how they actually work in helping you carve, shape, build, and tone the body that you want to have, and also how that ties in with your nutrition and hormones. I mean, it is absolutely awesome. Before we go on any further, I want you to know this, that I have put together a program. It has taken me 2 years actually to put this program together, but because of all of the questions that we've received, and all of the people that have been talking about how confused they are, and some have got so discouraged that they feel like nothing works. I'm predestined to be overweight and obese. I can't have the body that I want unless I take some illegal drugs or something that's harmful to my body. That is not the truth. So it sent me on a quest to put this program together. And what I want to do is, especially those of you that are just getting started with me, I am going to give you an iron. Hold on, let me just grab this. We're going to give you the mineral drops, which are $15. And we're also going to give you free of charge the Fat Burn 5. This is an amazing product. These are two of the products that I use to help me compete and win and become as lean as I was when I was on stage. I'm going to give you those products free for the for doing this program. That's a total of $55, and it's only going to cost you $47 to do the program. That's how important you are to me, and it's also something to motivate you to get on the program and stay on the program. My goal is to get you the results that you're looking for. If I just said the program is $47, some of you would probably say, yeah, it might work, it might not work. But this is something that you can't pass up. You said he's giving me $55 worth of product, and the program is only $47. You've got to do this program. It took me a long time to put it together, and I put it together for you. It would be a shame for you not to get the results that you've been looking for all of this time. To be honest with you, over the years, I've worked with thousands of people. Literally thousands of people and hundreds of athletes, and our higher level programs are up about $25,000. Some of this information that I'm going to be giving you today, we rarely give this information out because it is so important, so valuable. And if you're not going to take it serious, and it's taken me years and years to acquire it, then why give it out? You know, when I was competing, I would have people ask me, Ron, what do you do to get in the type of condition that you're in? And I would say to them, you don't want to know. And the ones said, yeah, I do want to know. I would explain the things to them that I did, and it really didn't matter if they didn't apply the principles. Now, I want to give you a scenario. If I was to make a lemon cake and you took a bite of that lemon cake and you say, Ron, I absolutely love that lemon cake. And I said, tell you what, let me give you the recipe and you can make your own. So I give you the recipe and you go home and you're putting all the ingredients together. And you say, well, I don't want to put lemons in this lemon cake, and I don't want to put any sugar in the lemon cake. So I'm going to make the lemon cake without the lemons and the sugar. Well, when you finish that lemon cake, it's not going to taste the same because you've taken out some of the ingredients. I'm going to give you some ingredients tonight. I'm going to give you some principles tonight that absolutely works. I've tried it personally, and I used these same principles, as I said, on thousands of other people, and it just works. I feel like I'm really blessed to have the internet, partially because it gives me the opportunity to reach out to the masses to really make a difference. That's what my life is for. I am supposed to make a difference. So tonight we're going to dispel some of those myths, some of those discouragement, some of those things that have hindered you in the past. I want to start off by saying this. The energy systems, you have three energy systems. One, you have the phosphagen system. Then you have the lactic acid system. And the third energy system is the aerobic system. Now listen closely. Now, the phosphagen system is the system that you use for burst of energy. I mean, it's a burst of energy, a burst of strength. And then secondly, you have the lactic acid system, which goes from somewhere from 10 to 20 seconds, 10 to 30, 10 to between 20 and 30 seconds. You're working within that range. You're using the lactic acid system. When you start getting around 30 seconds of your workout or 30 seconds of a set, whether you know it or not, you're starting to use some of the aerobic system. Now, why is that so important for me to know? Well, when I'm trying to blueprint my body, the phosphagen system is the system that builds large, round, bulky muscles. Now, the second system, which is the lactic acid system, it builds a large but a little bit smaller and a more striated muscle. Now, the aerobic system is mainly to burn the fat and to build the heart. So why is that so important? I'll tell you why. Because if I want to build my body and I want to blueprint my body and I want to make my body look a certain way, these energy systems are absolutely, utterly important. Because when I competed in natural bodybuilding, I was preparing my body to get on stage. And in preparing my body to get on stage and be judged by judges, I wanted my body to look a certain way. It had to be balanced for what I was trying to accomplish. So my legs had to be a certain size. My arms had to be a certain size, my traps and my back, and it all had to balance out for the sport that I was competing in. Well, if I'm a track athlete, depending on what event that I was participating in, I would concentrate on the energy system that's going to give me the results that I'm looking for. Okay, with that being said, I'm never going to get on stage again. When I wore a suit in my competitive years, when I put that suit on, don't laugh, I look like a monkey in a suit. And what I mean by that is this, is my neck was so big that it was hard for me to get shirts that really fit, and it would choke my neck, hard to fit me in the shoulders, hard to fit those guns, boom. And my legs were so big that the legs were tight and the waist would hang off, and I walked around and I just looked like a monkey in a suit. Well, now, because I'm never going to compete again, I want my body to look a certain way. I want to have really, really nice shoulders, and I want to have a decent chest, and I want to carry some definition. And I want to do this so that when I put on a suit, I look respectable in a suit and somebody that you guys think should be listened to. Now, if I stood up there in a suit and said, you know what, because I'm not competing anymore, I'm not going to work out, I'm not going to be in good conditions, I'm going to let my health go, and I stood there with this great big pot belly, and I'm going to talk to you about fitness and nutrition, that wouldn't go over very well. So what I'm doing is I'm blueprinting my body to be the physique for what I'm trying to accomplish. Okay, with that being said, if I'm going to work my abdominals with what I've told you, which system would I use? I'm going to use the phosphagen system when I work my abdominals, because my abdominals are muscle as well. If I use the phosphagen system, it will absolutely work. But what the phosphagen system will do is it will build my stomach, and I'll have a big, bulky stomach. So if you said, no, Ron, you don't want to do that, you're absolutely right. I would not use the phosphagen system to build my stomach. I want my stomach to be lean. I want my waist to be tapered. And so I'm going to use a different system. I'm going to use the lactic acid system and the aerobic system when I'm working my abdominals. I want my waist to be smaller. Now, in competitive bodybuilding, for me, it was different. I actually worked the phosphagen and the lactic acid system, so my abdominals the muscle bellies itself would be thick. And when I would get the leanness in my physique, you would still see the thick abdominal muscles, but I would cut off the obliques and I would increase my aerobic activity so that I could lean out my waist a bit, but you could see my obliques were very developed. In a suit, I don't want my obliques developed. I don't want big, thick obliques. For bodybuilding, that works out just fine because the obliques are a muscle group as well and they need to be developed. So I'm going to work the aerobic system and a little bit of the lactic acid system so that you can see that. Now, I'm going to work my shoulders, and as I'm working my shoulders, because I want my shoulders to be defined, I'm going to use the aerobic system. Would you agree with that? Absolutely not. I'm not going to work the aerobic system when I'm building my shoulders. I'm going to use the phosphagen system. Now, as you're using these systems, for example, if I'm using the phosphagen system, I'm not just going to do a set for up to 10 seconds or up to 15 seconds. I am going to use the maximum amount of weight that I possibly can use while I am going through my workout. So if I can do 20 reps, I'm not just going to stop intentionally because I've set it up for 8 to 10 reps. I'm going to use a weight that will only allow me to do 8 to 10 reps so that I can build those shoulders the way I want them built. And when I'm working the aerobic system to lean out my waist, we're going to do an 8-minute core where I'm consistently moving and working the core, not just my abdominals, but my obliques, my serratus intercostals, and my lower back. But because I'm not slowing down and I'm not stopping, it's a continuous movement. Remember, after 30 seconds, I start to delve into the aerobic system. And that's going to help me build the body that I really want. Hold on, we've got a question here. It says, I like your shirt. Really? Thank you so much. That's Matt Matthews. The next one, Liza King, faith in fat loss, where is it? We still have our faith in fat loss. Don't worry about that. That's something that we'll always hold on to, and some of these principles will actually be in the faith and fat loss program as we travel around the country and put that the faith and fat loss out. But this is a program that we're putting together for the masses that say, you know what, I want to unleash my body and I want to get out of the bondage that I've been in all of this time because I haven't been able to reach my results. When it comes to the nutritional portion of this is how they coincide and they actually work together. If I am training extremely hard, trying to get all the results that I want, you can say, well, okay, Ron, I've got the energy system down and I'm going to use this energy system for my body. Well, the nutrition works consistently with it. You've heard this before, that nutrition is 70 to 80% of what you want to accomplish. That doesn't mean if I just do the nutrition, 80% nutrition, that I'm going to get the results that I'm looking for. It means the combination of them both together will get you your results. Now, what happens, and one of our biggest problems, is that we have hormones that either aid us in achieving our goals or hormones that actually create opposition to us actually achieving our goals. What I might mean by that is this. If I'm trying to get my body leaner and I'm eating meals that spike my blood sugar level, and when my blood sugar level is spiked, my pancreas secretes insulin. Depending on what type of carbohydrate I'm eating, how much of that carbohydrate I'm eating will determine how much insulin is secreted and how high the insulin level is. Well, insulin is a fat storing hormone. And when you have tremendous amounts of insulin running through your system, it actually locks the fat cell down, and the body says, I'm not willing to release excess body fat right now. So listen to this. Listen to this scenario. You would, I mean, some of you are doing this, and if you knew what you were doing, you'd absolutely stop it, because you're going to hate what I'm about to say. Here I am. I go to the gym and I say, you know what? I'm going to get some food in my belly before I go work out. And so you eat, say, a piece of fruit, and you say, well, I need a little caffeine to give me a boost. By the way, I never do that. So you maybe drink some coffee with sugar in it. Well, you've spiked your blood sugar level so high, and your body is saying, I am not going to release any body fat for 4 hours. The fat cells are not going to release fat for 4 hours. Now, even while you're working out, and you're working as hard as you possibly can, your body and those fat cells are resisting your efforts to decrease body fat. Did you ever think about that? Probably not. But it takes a while. Your blood sugar drops after it spikes, but the insulin level stays up much longer than your blood sugar. So your blood sugar may drop within 2 hours, but that insulin level rides high, and then it slowly starts to drop. In about 2.5 hours, 3 hours, you eat another high carbohydrate meal. You've actually started to turn your body into a fat producing machine. And as hard as you're working out, I'll tell you something, that can become very discouraging. I'll tell you a story. I have this friend of mine that we worked with. Her name is Ginger Trask. And she was having a real struggle working out and getting the results that she wanted. And we sat down with her and went over some principles, and it really didn't make much sense to her, because I increased her calories and gave her some essential fatty acid, made sure she had a protein with every carbohydrate. And we looked at the caloric intake of the meals. And she looked at this and said, Ron, I guess you know what you're doing. And we put her on an exercise program. And the exercise program, maybe an hour a day. And when she started losing the body fat, she started getting lean. She thought, wow, this is a miracle. No, it's science. What we did is we lowered her resting or her fasting insulin level and her fasting glucose level, and her body became a fat burning machine. And the exercise that she began to do sped up her metabolism, and the body fat began to go away. Well, we leaned her out and we started doing some blueprinting, building her shoulders and carving and chiseling her body. And she competed on the US team in Greece. And I think she was 45, 46 at the time. Did a tremendous job. You would really love her. But she was fighting against herself because there were principles that she didn't know. And the ironic thing about that is you don't know what you don't know. But I've studied for 30 years in this field, and there's some things that I do know that you don't know. And I put this program together so that I can help you achieve the goals that you want. You know, we have a few people that are talking about our Faith and Fat Loss program. And the Faith and Fat Loss program is an amazing program. But if you do the Faith and Fat Loss program and you don't get the results, you become very discouraged. If you do any program and don't get the results, you become very discouraged. These principles that we're teaching in this program are going to help you acquire the results that you're looking for. And these are principles that we're giving you that you can maintain for the rest of your life. And this needs to be a lifestyle. And it needs to be something that's enjoyable. I would hate to have to live my life counting every single calorie that I put in my mouth. That's something that I absolutely do not want to do. Remember, anytime you come up with a question, go ahead and post it, and I've got it right here. And from time to time, you'll see me glance down, and I'm looking at the questions so that in the appropriate time, I'll go ahead and answer those questions. But it would really be sad for you to go through life working as hard as some of you have been working and just never achieving the results. Have another friend that we're working with now that has worked so hard to acquire the results and just became discouraged, completely discouraged, and say, well, I must have been predestined to be overweight and obese. This is my lot. If you can maintain your weight, you can absolutely lose weight. We've got to find out what the culprits or who the culprits are that's holding and causing your body to maintain that extra body fat. And that's my job. I want to be that go-to person for you. I want to coach you. I want to take you by your hand and walk you down the same path that I've had to walk down and that I've walked down. I've walked many others down that same path as well. There's a pastor that I really, really love. His name is Rick, and he's in Pensacola, Florida. I mean, this guy, he is so awesome. Within the first 6 months of doing our program, I think he lost 65 pounds. And I want to make sure I get this right. Within a year and a half, I'm going to ask my wife, Tanya, how much did Rick lose in a year and a half? 120 pounds. You say a year and a half, that's a long time. You know how long it took him to put on that weight? And gradually, every single week, he lost the weight. And he shaped his body. And instead of being overweight and obese, began to look like a strong power lifter. I mean, amazing physique. I have another guy I want to tell you about him, and I hope you're going to be able to see it. No, you won't even be able to see it. But his name, I'm working with him now. And on here, he started off at 282 pounds. And today, we've been working together for 3 months. Today, he sent me over his weight. And today, he's 251 pounds, 51.5. Yesterday, he was 252. 3 days ago, he was 253. 4 days ago, he was 253.5. And this goes on like this. I think this is 6 days ago, 254. And it goes all the way up 254.6. And then it goes to 255. But it goes 256. It goes on and on and on. 256.5. 257, 258, and it goes all the way up to 282 pounds. We can put your blueprint together. You can put your blueprint together with these principles, and you can say, this is what I want to take place in my body. This is how much body fat I want to lose. This is the energy system that I want to employ to actually get the results that I'm looking for. I know how I want my shoulders to look. I know how I want my chest to look, my abs, my arms, all the way throughout your body, and just begin to plot it out. And then what we'll do is give you a time frame and say, I want to accomplish this by this time. It has to be realistic. And we can blueprint your body and you can get the results that you want. As I said, it took me a long time to put this program together. But I am so confident in this program that once you start this program, it is going to change your body and change your life. Some of you that really know me personally, you know that I'm a pastor, and that's really who I am. The fitness arena is what I do. And I think it's really, really important as a minister and as a pastor to take care of my body, because I believe my body is the temple of God. That's what I believe. And I want to take care of it. But I've been given a ministry where I can help you take care of your body. I can help you build your body. And so everything that I learn and everything I'm able to share with you actually helps my ministry. And again, as I said, the minerals are $15 a bottle, and I'm giving these to you free. The fat burn five different pathways to help you burn the body fat, $35 a bottle, a total of $55 that we're giving to you absolutely free, and the program is $47. I want you to have this program. I desire you to have this program because I want to change your life. I want you to be able to look back and say, I remember the day when I trusted Ron with my body. Now, in working with the athletes in the past that I've worked with, this is what I would tell them. When they came in to my office, I would say, listen, cut your head off at the door, give me your body, and I'm going to make you a champion. What that did is when they did that, it put a tremendous amount of responsibility on me to have answers. It put a tremendous amount of responsibility on me to learn their body in such a way that we could get the results that they needed to be the champions that they became. Now I've put together a program that I can reach out to you and do the same thing. You may never want to compete in life, but you still can be a champion. You can. What does that mean? What does that look like, being a champion and I don't compete? You're a champion in developing and being who you want to be. You're a champion in developing the body that you want to acquire. That's what a true champion is. It's not one that competes on a stage. See, a lot of times you can compete and win and still not have the heart of a champion. And the thing about that is you can win a championship and not be a champion. A championship, once it's won, it's history. But being a champion is a part of who you are. That's what I want to do. I want to build champions. Now, let me help you in this aspect. Okay, Mr. Williams, it says this, Mr. Williams, will I need to go to the gym to do your program, or are the exercises geared towards being able to do it at home? Well, listen to this. This is something that is, it's a great question. A lot of my workouts are done at home. A lot of my workouts are done at home or on the road. When I travel personally, we're going to different churches, different facilities, organizations where we're speaking. And when I go into a new city, what I had to do was find a gym. And every time I went to that gym, I had to pay $20 to $25 each time. So it took me a half hour to get there, half hour to get back, hour to an hour and a half to work out. And so I ended up started missing a lot of my workouts. So I started developing fitness equipment that I could use at home. And one of those pieces is the Iron Chest Master. I take it on the plane with me and I work out in the airports. I work out in my hotel room. I work out on the track. I work out in a very convenient place, whatever's convenient for me. So you can do this at home. And you may not even know this, but I use a lot of resistance bands. Resistance bands is a friendly form of resistance on the body because it stretches, and it actually stretches with the body. So resistance bands, and I have resistance bands that go up to 300 pounds of resistance. So it's not the little flimsy resistance bands, but you can get resistance bands for whatever resistance that you need. That is a great question. I'm going to stop just for a moment to answer some of the questions that you guys have. Anybody else have any questions? That was Lori. Lori, you can go to the gym, but you don't necessarily have to go to the gym. Some of us, our lives just won't allow that. And some of us are extremely private people and we don't want to go to the gym. But I want you to get this program. Some people try to roundabout tell you about their programs and that, you know, I think you ought to get it. I'm not going to be apprehensive about this. I developed the program for you, and I know that it works. It's going to change your body, and it's going to change your life. Don't miss out on this awesome, awesome opportunity. Come on, guys, ask me some questions. We only have like 4 or 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. I need some questions. This is for you guys. Okay, I'm going to move on. When we talk about the supplements, I want to explain just a little bit to you about the supplements, why they're so important. One is the minerals. We have a video on our YouTube channel that talks about how important the minerals are. Your body is electrically conducted. And what that means is without the minerals, you have nothing to create a charge. And so the water that's in your system is charged with the minerals. If you don't have those minerals, then your body begins to misfire. And so it's really, really important to have the minerals in your body or in the water that you drink. We used to get all of our minerals from the water we drink as well as the fruit and vegetables, but our foods are so depleted and the water is so polluted that it's really, really hard to get the minerals through natural means. And what I mean by that is through our food and through the water. So we have to take the minerals in a different form or a different source. It's best to drink the distilled water for 2 weeks by itself to help flush your system. After you do that, you want to put 40 drops of minerals in every gallon of water. And this is going to give you energy if you don't have the minerals in your body already that you've never had before. And you need energy to get through your workouts. You need energy just to get through everyday life. Sometimes we're putting out, not realizing that our energy levels are extremely low because we don't have the mineral content in our bodies that we need. So this is a very, very valuable, foundational supplement. Now the Fat Burn 5. The main ingredient that I love about this, and I'll tell you how I came onto it. I think it was about 15 years ago. The Australian judge, he's the president of the Australian Natural Bodybuilding Association. We were competing, I think, in the Mr. Universe, and as I stood there on stage, my legs began to cover over. And what that simply means is my legs were so fatigued and so tired that the longer I stayed up there on stage and I began to flex, my legs, the definition went away before my eyes or before the judge's eyes. And so they kept me out there even longer. And the Australian judge did this on purpose. After that competition, by the way, I won. He said, "Ron, your legs are so fatigued and you're starting to hold on to water because either your legs are not recovering the way they should, but however, you need to take this supplement that's called Eleutherococcus, which is a Chinese herb." And I thought this guy was trying to give me a supplement that would cause me to fail the drug test. So I took it to my biochemist and allowed him to look at this. And my biochemist said, "You know what? I don't know too much about herbs, but I do know that it can have no harm." So I did a little more research and I said, "I'm going to try it." I took this supplement for 2 weeks. And what the supplement does, it increases oxygen. And what oxygen does is, the word aerobic means with air, aerobic. And it requires air to burn oxygen. What this Eleutherococcus does, it increases the oxygen. So sitting on my couch, this product is increasing oxygen and helping me to burn body fat. Not only that, but it helped my recovery tremendously. And when I competed, that was the universe that he saw me. When I competed in the Olympia, my body was a whole new body. I mean, I was ripped in places that I'd never been ripped before. I was leaner than I'd ever been before. And this guy really did want to help me. So to that, the Eleutherococcus, and we put it with Chromium balances the blood glucose level and helps you to keep that insulin and the blood sugar level down so we don't run into the problem that we were talking about earlier. It also has iodine, which helps stabilize the thyroid. When you start to develop hypothyroidism, the first symptom is weight gain, the opposite of what we want. So we have that in the Fat Burn 5. 5 different pathways to actually burn the body fat that's on your body. So you're gonna love that supplement. And remember, again, these 2 supplements come to you absolutely free just by joining the Unleashed program. We have a Facebook page specifically for the Unleashed group where you guys can communicate with one another. You can talk about your experience with the Unleashed group, how it's helping you, the upside, the downside. I mean, anything that you guys want to discuss. You know, how are you coming when it comes to the nutritional part of it? Some people think, man, this feels like cheating. I mean, I'm able to eat as much as I want to eat, and I'm able to do all these things, and it's still working for me. We've got another question from Cody. He says, do we get supplements every month for free, or is it just a one-time offer for today? Well, Cody, I'm going to answer that. Every single month, you get the products free, worth of $55 every single month. And as I said, the program is $47 a month. And we'll have the webinars where I can sit down with you and we can discuss through webinar, through what we're doing right now, and answer all of your questions and be able to have this more personal relationship where I can help walk you through those areas that you've gotten stuck in the past. And we can break those walls, break those barriers, and get you the results that you haven't been able to get on your own. Let me do that for you, please. So Cody, that was a great question. Yeah, every single month you get the products free. Any other questions? This says, let me see, who is this? Greg Anselmo says, since I've started the program, I've lost 7 pounds. Greg, I want you to tell me. As a matter of fact, I need to talk to you, Greg. It says, since I started the program, I've lost 7 pounds. I want to know how long it's been. Send me over how long you've been on the program. 7 pounds, that's awesome. It says, hi, when it comes to nutrition, what is a good post-workout carb, and when is it too late in the day for post-workout carbs? Now, with that question, I want to answer it like this. It depends on what your goals are. It depends on, and the reason why I say that, depends on your body type, depends on what you're trying to accomplish. Some people that are trying to decrease body fat, you're not going to get those carbs at a certain time of day. If you're in group 1, there are certain carbohydrates that you're supposed to eat throughout the day. If you're in group 2, there are certain carbohydrates that you get throughout the day. And if you're in group 3, it's the same thing. If your fasting insulin and glucose level is extremely high, what we've got to do is get that glucose and the sugar and the insulin down, where the fat cell is willing to open up and actually release the excess body fat. Have you ever seen this happen? You have a lean guy going into the gym and he brings a sidekick with him that's overweight and obese. And that guy's working out with him. He's extremely strong, able to do the same weights. But then you notice that this guy that's overweight, he never loses any weight. It may even appear that he gets a little bit bigger. And the guy that's lean continues to get leaner, because the guy that's overweight is trying to do the exact same thing the guy that's lean is doing. He's eating the same way. He's taking his post-workout and his pre-workout the same kind, because this is his hero and he wants to be like him. But you know what? He has to eat different. Post-workout, for some people, is absolutely not necessary because they can't eat the carbs. Their metabolism is too slow to take in a high carbohydrate content meal or food right after they work out. Your body is willing to burn or to release the body fat when that insulin is low. We've got to get the insulin down to a low place. Some of you actually sent questions, and I didn't, and I actually passed them. So I'm going back a little bit so I can see the questions. Okay, that was Greg, nutrition. Cody Bottle. Okay, here's a question. Are any of your bands part of the program? Well, we do have resistance bands, and these resistance bands are quality resistance bands, and you can get those bands if you want. Just go to our website and we'll make them available to you. Or if you have your own bands, you can use your own bands. The workouts that we're going to have, if you work out in the gym, you can continue to work out in the gym if you like. But if you want to do home workouts, we have the bands, and you can use this program in the gym as well. So we don't want to try to take you away from the gym, because some people need that gym environment. They need to get out of their home. If they're at home, home becomes a distraction to them. You know, I've got to cook, I've got to do all these things with my kids. But if I can get out of the home and get in the gym, the hardest part is over for a lot of people. Okay, it says, Matthew says, how do we get the program? Well, there's a link that we want you to click on. Matt, how do we get the program? I'm not real familiar with this. Up at the corner, it says, go ahead and say it out loud.
Go ahead and click right there.
Right here,
Click right there.
and it says show offer. I'm going to show you the offer right now.
Click back on that one.
This right here?
Mm-hmm. So they should be able to see it now.
Okay, so the offer is right there for you guys that wanted to see it. Awesome, awesome. I'm still learning this program. I've got Cody here helping me to work this program. It says this. The next question is, I've been eating in the combinations and drinking minerals fortified with distilled water since Sunday, the day after I signed up. Awesome, awesome. And so this is Greg Anselmo, and he says since he signed up for the program Sunday, he's lost 7 pounds. Congratulations, young man. Congratulations. I am so happy to hear that. So happy to hear that. Now, Greg Anselmo, I know personally. My phone, when I went to Mexico, jumped in the ocean and lost all of my numbers and all of my contacts. So I lost Greg's information. But Greg is an awesome guy. Any other questions? Greg is the last one to ask the question. The last question was, how do we get the program? And I put that up for you guys. Is there anyone else that has a question? Come on, guys. I need you to talk to me, because we're actually gonna, if you guys don't have any more questions, we're gonna let you think this whole thing over and purchase the program. I really, really encourage you. I can't say it enough. And some of you might think, of course he wants us to get the program. He designed it. Absolutely, I want you to get the program, but I designed it for you. And I want to see you get the results that you've been looking for. I get gratification, at seeing you get your results. Greg, I am just so excited about the results that he's getting. 7 pounds since Sunday. That's awesome. Liza King, it says, are the supplements good for teenagers? They absolutely are. They're healthy supplements. One thing about me, Liza, is that I won't take a supplement unless it's healthy and it gives me life and longevity. In the athletic world, it's changed so much. In the athletic world, people are looking for a certain look, and they don't care what it takes to get that look. Even in bodybuilding, when I competed, if a supplement wasn't healthy, I don't care what it made me look like today. If it's going to affect my body tomorrow, I don't want anything to do with it. So every supplement that I recommend or that I take or recommend that you take, absolutely healthy. Your teenagers can take it. If they're younger than a teenager, they probably don't need it. And it's probably not something that that they should be taking. But if they're teenagers and they're working out and they're trying to get the results, these are healthy products. Healthy products. As I said, a lot of times we get in shape. We get in good physical, what appears to be good physical condition to do something that's dangerous. We have people that get in shape for football, and we know when they get out there and they crash their helmets together, that's not really healthy and safe. We have people that get in shape, tremendous shape. They have six-pack abs, ripped all over. They get in shape to get in the ring with Mike Tyson. Guess what? That is not healthy. So sometimes we're willing to do things that are unhealthy to look a certain way because a lot of our heroes do it. And we see the results that they get, but will it enhance their life and help them in the future? That's really what my concern is. And it says, the next question is this. Thanks, Liza. It says, so what do we not eat before workouts so we don't trap the fat like you were talking about? What do we not eat before workouts? First of all, you've got to determine, what is my body type? What is my metabolism? And that'll determine what you can and cannot eat. That's also a part of the program. If you have a slow metabolism, I'm just going to speak to you. If you have a slow metabolism, we have super fast metabolisms, we have fast metabolisms, we have medium metabolisms, we have slow, and then we have super slow. If you have a slow metabolism to super slow metabolism, you definitely don't want to take in high glycemic carbohydrates, fruit sugars, I'm not going to talk about candy and cookies and stuff like that because that's not a part of what you're going to be doing. If your metabolism is extremely slow, you don't want to take in those carbohydrates prior to working out. If you want to burn body fat, never eat a carbohydrate by itself. If you have a super fast metabolism, then you want to take in those carbohydrates by itself. The program helps you to determine what you should do in your training and how you should eat while you're training. So, I mean, it really is amazing. If you're carrying excess body fat and you're trying to lose it, don't eat the carbohydrates prior to working out. And if you do eat a carbohydrate an hour and a half to 2 hours prior, make sure it's always in combination with your fat and your protein. Because what protein does, it takes 2 hours to digest and absorb your proteins. It takes 20 minutes to an hour to digest the carbohydrates. When you put the protein and the carb together, it lowers them on the glycemic scale, so you're not secreting as much insulin. When you take the essential fatty acid with it, it takes about 4 hours to digest and absorb that essential fatty acid. So you put that essential fatty acid and the protein with the carb, it brings it down even lower on the glycemic scale, so those calories can't be converted to fat. And you're not coating those fat cells with the molecules that says you absolutely cannot release the fat. We will not release the fat. The door's open for fat to come in, but when the fat wants to leave, the door's closed. That's what high blood sugar and high insulin levels do in the body. Insulin is absolutely essential to be in the body, but it's the high amounts that we become insulin resistant, and that's what causes diabetes. Awesome, awesome. Any more questions? Any more questions? I'm going to give it about 5 more minutes, and then we're going to go off this call, let you guys sign up for the program. I'm going to be looking tonight to say who signed up for the program, and I'm going to get excited about it because I'm going to change your life. That's what I'm out to do. It took me some time to put this together, but we're going to keep, we're going to continue to reach out to people, and we're going to find those that really want to make a difference and want to be different, and finally say, you know what, I'm tired of not getting the results that I want. And you know what, I've gotten a little results, but I feel like I should have gotten better results. I've got good results, but I think that I can get better results. Those that say I've plateaued and I can't move any further, those are the ones that I'm after. I'm after those that are sitting down that have said, you know what, I've given up, nothing works. If you try one more time with this Unleashed program and you do it, you won't have to try again. Because I guarantee you, it works. I am so excited about it, I can hardly stand it. I mean, I can hardly stand it. So, guys, I want you to sign up for the Unleashed program. Do it. Any more questions before we go? Got about 2 more minutes. If you've got that last minute question, go ahead and throw it out there. Looking through to see if there are any new questions. How soon can I sign up? You can sign up right now. If you're actually looking, it should be to the right. You should see where you can sign up for the program. Just click and fill out the information, and you can sign up now. Liza said, is there a group cost for several family members that need this program? You know what? I'm going to say no, but I am going to ask you to do this for me. If there is a group that's doing it, I want you to let me know all of the names of those that are in the group, and let me know the results. Please get back with me and share the results with me. If you do it as a group, you have a support team right there in your home, and that is awesome. I mean, there's no greater support than your family when you start doing something like this. We'll be a support to each other within the Facebook, but to have a support system at home, there's no greater support system. So Liza, get your family involved and do it together. Do it together. Awesome. Thank you for that question. Anybody else going? Okay, I'm going to click on this link. Okay, there's the offer again. I put it up for you guys so you could see it.
We're going to reset the offer really quick so you guys can see it again.
Why are you talking on my webinar, man?
I'm sorry, man. I'm just trying to get the people what they want. That's all.
Okay. That's Cody talking. Come on, Cody. Let him see who you are. See this handsome young guy?
Hey, guys.
He's the one that's he looks better than the picture you just saw, by the way. He's really, really a whiz at doing this kind of thing. And I thank God that he's helping me out with this. So if there are no more questions, guys, you go ahead and take the time to sign up, and just know that I love you guys and I'm really excited about this program. And until next time, God bless you. And those of you that are on the program, I'm going to pray for those that were on the call tonight. But those of you that actually signed up, I'm going to be praying for you and your results. And again, God bless you, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
See if we ended that.